Thank you. Welcome. I call to order the Town Council regular session. The time is 7:30, and the date is Monday, February 10th. If we could please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Could we have the roll call, please, Dale?
Council President Whaley.
Present.
Council Vice President McAtee.
Here.
Councilwoman Healy.
Here.
Councilman O'Neill.
Here.
4 members present. Councilman Donnelly is absent.
Thank you, Dale. We have the approval of the minutes of previous meetings. We have the work sessions of January 9th, January 15th, and January 27th.
I move approval of those minutes.
I second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We also have the regular session of January 27th.
I move approval of those minutes.
Second those.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And we also have the closed executive session of January 27th.
I move approval of those minutes.
Second?
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Would any council like anything removed from the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second that.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is our public hearing. I'd like to open the public hearing relative to proposed amendments to the Town Code, Chapter 10 Motor Vehicles and Traffic as follows. Chapter 10 Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2, Stopping, Standing, and Parking, Section 10-52, prohibited at any time. And it is looking to amend Succotash Road no parking tow zone both sides of the roadway from its intersection at Title Street, generally southbound toward the village of Jerusalem, to the South Kingston and Narragansett town line, a distance of 9/10 of a mile. However, parking is allowed on Succotash Road on the west side of the roadway between the north side of the Potter Pond Bridge to a point 280 feet north. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chief.
Madam
Greetings.
President, members of the council, I provided the council with a memo which is as straightforward as I can get it with respect to what's before you tonight. And what is before you tonight, as has been advertised, is a recommendation to amend the existing town ordinance to mirror and be consistent with the regulations established by the State Traffic Commission in December of 2009 with respect to parking on Succotash Road in the area of the Oyster Bar, the Matunic Oyster Bar. What my recommendation is in front of you doesn't add any parking spaces. It doesn't reduce any parking spaces. All it simply does is mirror what the State Traffic Commission has promulgated back in 2009. There needs to be a consistency in the two regulations. It's a state roadway, and the State Traffic Commission regulations surpass the provisions of the town ordinance. So it's simply, what I'm proposing to you is a house cleaning issue. We need to mirror whatever the State Traffic Commission has proposed. And it's as simple as that. That's what's before you tonight. I understand there may be some other issues, but that's not what I'm here to present to you or to testify in relation to. Now, Actually, there doesn't need to be a town ordinance relating to this issue, because the State Traffic Commission has established the parking provisions. You can do nothing. You can repeal what's in existence. The only thing I'm interested in is a consistency between what is in the town code and what has been established by the State Traffic Commission. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So do we have questions here at the town council table for the chief?
Chief, so are you recommending that we change the ordinance, or you just said we could do nothing? It wouldn't really make any difference. It's a
Wouldn't make a
state road,
difference.
and
Wouldn't make a difference. You
state
could you could
regulation
repeal, you can
supersedes.
consider repealing the town code with respect to this issue, or you could do nothing. And the State Traffic Commission's position will be the accepted laws that we will follow.
And as far as safety issues, are you satisfied that all of this is safe for pedestrians?
This is not a public safety issue. This is a parking issue. If it were a public safety issue, I would bring that matter before the town council through the town manager long before this.
Okay.
Other questions here at the town council table?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, chief. Seeing there's no questions here at the town council table, I'm going to open the microphone up. This is a public hearing. This is your chance to come and let your voices be heard. So the microphone is open. Seeing nobody is coming to speak on this issue, I just want to make it very clear to the audience that if you don't speak at this time and we close the public hearing, you won't get a chance to speak later. Please.
William Galogli, I live in the area. I think there are no parking signs now that must have been put up by the state. I drove by today and I saw at least 2 of them in that general area. So I'm wondering who put those signs up and what authority if the state commission says that parking is permitted there.
Do we have an answer? The state, chief, the state put those signs up.
Well, I guess my question is there a division within the state? Because there's signs saying no parking, and yet we're hearing that there are regulations that say there is parking permitted.
Right.
So who is making that decision, and why is it that there are no parking signs now if the state regulations already say they can park there with or without the town's approval?
Right. Chief, could you come and answer that, or Steve, or somebody? We need an answer to that question. The state is, he's saying the state is contradicting itself, saying there can be parking, but there are no parking signs.
State Traffic Commission took this action in December of 2009. My information is that the signs were erected the following month in December, probably in 2010. That's the best information I have, according to my records.
So Chief, just let me ask, I mean, I'm not sounding, things aren't that clear here. So we have a state regulation that says you can park there. We have a town ordinance that says you can't park there. As far as I know, people are not parking there.
They are not parking there.
So
that's
why are we not leaving things well enough alone? Because isn't that, I mean, we like the way it is, do we not?
Leaving well enough alone would be fine with me. This issue was presented to me through unknown sources
Right.
that there should be some consistency between the town ordinance and the state regulation. And with that information, that's the reason why I came forward with this recommendation to you.
Right. But consistency would mean that we would have to say, okay, it's okay to park in those,
That's what,
that
well,
280
that's
feet.
what the
But
state,
maybe that's not what we want here. I mean, maybe
well,
all would be left well enough alone. The state says you can park, the town says you can't. People don't park there anyway.
they have not,
No.
but the State Traffic Commission authorizes parking in that area. But it's not utilized.
Right.
We did receive, I'm sorry, we did receive an email from a gentleman from the state. If I'm not mistaken, his last name was Bruchel. You may have heard his last name. You may have all gotten the email as well.
I contacted Mr. Bouchel, who is an engineer with the,
And
and he said, you know, to rectify this, all you need to do is add the language which is in my memo to you,
Yes.
which would
Yep.
straighten the situation out. It's very, very simple, if you choose to do that.
Any other questions here for the chief? Okay. Mr. Packer?
Good evening. Perry asked me to come. He's in Seattle. I don't know whether he's enjoying Super Bowl parties or he had business, but I looked at Bill Galogli's photographs. I'm not sure the photographs he has of the no parking signs covers the area that we're actually talking about. He has photographs further down the road and photographs just before the entrance to Perry's parking lot. So I don't believe, or I'm not sure, and I don't know, but the photographs that he did show me are not in the area that we're talking about. I think that, as the chief stated, it's a state road, and state regulations override the town. This is a similar issue that Narragansett faced when they had parking on Ocean Road and they had parking on the Galley Escape Road. In order to regulate that parking, they needed to deal with the state and get the state to adopt the regulations that they felt they needed, because they really didn't have the jurisdiction. So I would echo the chief's remarks that this amendment to the ordinances brings the town ordinance, which may or may not be enforceable, into the same lockstep as the state. And if there are changes on that road that need to be made to parking regulations, I believe it needs to go through the state. And all you're trying to do here, I think, is to make the town ordinance consistent with the state ordinance so that the chief isn't faced with someone saying, go enforce an ordinance, which he really can't enforce. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions here for Mr. Packer?
No, but I do have another one for the chief. Sorry, chief, I let you sit down. You can stay back there, though, I guess.
No, he's got to come forward.
we have
It's a
to come
public
forward.
hearing. He's
You
gotta
might as
be
well
on the
sit up
mic.
front for this one. Yeah. So let's put it this way, Chief. If somebody were to park over somewhere in that 280 feet, and they can't fit all the way over to the side, and they are within the travel lane, that is not permissible under any circumstance. Is that correct?
Of course not. Any vehicle that impedes the normal and reasonable flow of traffic is a violation. So we would take every step to remove the car.
So if a car would park there and there's only 3 feet and they're sticking out into the road by 2 feet, you have to get them to move. That's not allowable parking under any circumstances.
No,
Okay.
you cannot impede the flow of traffic.
So if the area is not wide enough to maintain the width of a vehicle, then it polices itself if there's not enough room. I mean, people, what we've gotten is certain emails. I don't see anybody saying too much about it tonight, but what we have gotten is certain emails complaining about cars parking there or lining up to get into the restaurant. Now, I don't consider that parking. I understand where it could cause problems with traffic, but you and your police officers have been moving these cars along when this has happened.
Absolutely, but as you indicated earlier, vehicles are not parking there, even though it's a lawful area where they may park for up to 2 hours. Vehicles aren't parking there.
I think they can't fit. is what it
Well,
comes down
no,
to.
the State Traffic Commission, when they authorized the parking back in 2009, determined there was adequate
Right.
space for them to park. If they encroach on the travel portion of the highway, we certainly would make every effort to remove the vehicle for the purpose of traffic safety.
But that is not where they're being valet parked, if I, correct me if I'm wrong. That, those are people parking on their own, correct? Not.
They're not
valet-
parking, they're not utilizing the authorized parking space.
Okay.
I wouldn't go too far.
Sit up front, will you? Who knows what's coming up next?
I'm
Oh, dear.
gonna get
Get
your
your
exercise
exercise.
tonight.
Well, mopeds. We are not talking about mopeds yet. Anyway.
Okay, I'm going to open up the microphone one last time for the public to come forward. Speak, questions, any concerns in relation to this public hearing? Seeing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing. So
I
this will
move
be
we-
the last time that the public gets to speak.
I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. The public hearing is now closed. And now, we have to figure out, we basically have three choices. Do we want to refer it back to the Transportation Traffic Review Commission, or do we want to just leave it alone?
I would like to make a motion that we leave it the way it is, and we refer it to the town manager and the police chief to discuss the situation with the property owner, and that's my motion.
Second that.
Okay. And,
I'd just like to add to that, recognizing full well that it is a state road and the state regulation supersedes the town ordinance, but recognizing that, and recognizing that people are not parking there.
Yes, I agree. I have to agree with you, Carol.
So I don't know why we're going to change something that seems to be working to some extent.
right,
I will re-second.
thanks.
Whatever the wording
Or
is.
third, second, third.
All right, does any other town council member want to speak? You know, I'm gonna support Carol's motion as well, and I'm just gonna add the comments that I know that the different emails that we have received here at the town council table do deal with, you know, some of the issues with people concerned with some of the flow of traffic on that road. And I'm pleased that, you know, we as the town have, you know, asked the property owner to monitor the line of traffic. I know during the summer, I travel that road every single day, getting to Little Beach, Spit Beach, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, I have seen cars backed up, but that's not part of this parking issue, and I think that those issues are getting dealt with in a positive way, and the town is being proactive to deal with some of those issues. So, at this time, other comments?
Excuse me, I just wanted to echo what you said, because I think the property owner has really stepped to the plate, too, because number of officers, and he's been paying that almost 7 days a week in the summer. So.
And I agree with everything you're all saying, and I think it's imperative that Perry be a part of this conversation. And unfortunately, he's away.
Can I just add one thing? And yes, I'm upset that he's not here as well, but I don't want people in the public to lose sight of the fact that his restaurant has given back to our community tenfold. Although it is a for-profit business and he does receive residual income from it, the one thing, excuse me, that I want to bring out is that anytime there's a community event or a fundraiser or something that's being done to give back to the community, you always see Perry there. So I implore his efforts. I do recognize that for the fact that people who live in the community, it can be sometimes cumbersome because of the traffic issue, but please don't lose sight of what he does in this community, because we all benefit from that as well.
That's true. I echo that. Steve, did you have anything to add before we vote on Carol's motion?
No, I think that Chief's comments are well taken, but I still think that it's going to be important for us to continue to work with that property owner to ensure
Yes.
that there isn't standing allowed that blocks that passage. And to date, he's been cooperative with us. So I don't expect that that's going to change. But again, that's a very busy road because it's not just servicing that location, but also the State Beach, Jerusalem, and Jack's as well. So we need to work together on that issue. We do share concern with the neighborhood as far as pedestrian access and the ability to be able to move past that restaurant without having to go into the travel way. And that's something that's going to take some additional work to make sure that that lane is clear for the pedestrians. But the work to date with the valet service as well as the police during the high traffic traffic times, I think have been somewhat effective. They're not 100% effective, but at the same time, what we're trying to do is to accommodate the community as well as a viable business.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, with that said, any further comments here at the table? We have a motion, and Jim seconded it, so we're ready to vote. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries 4-0-0. Next item on the agenda is comments from interested citizens. This is the time that the microphone is again open. If anyone has another issue that they would like to speak about, questions for the town council, any comments, please come forward and state your name. Seeing none, I just have a few quick announcements for the town council. At your seats today, I just want to let the town council know that I got a phone call from Hannah from CARES, South Kingstown CARES, Connecting All Resources for Educational Support, and she's hoping that this town council, who was the winner of last year's spelling bee, put March 13th on their calendar, and they're hoping that South Kingstown Town Council has a team. I have been asked again this year to be the judge, but if the town council would like us to further contact our wonderful speller, Mary.
Who was her
won
friend?
last year, right?
Her sister?
That's right.
It's only because I was benched.
And I think I bought the town council got out, and I think I butchers back in. But anyways, if you would like me to contact, or another volunteer on the town council to contact Mary, if we can secure that date, if you people are interested in sponsoring a team again, let me know. The other thing is, I also received a phone call. The VFW Ladies Auxiliary is doing a membership drive, and it is going to be, I know this is really early, but I'm going to put it out there to the public, April 12th. And if anyone would like to join the VFW Ladies Auxiliary or the VFW on High Street, it is April 12th. Come to the VFW post, there'll be applications and lots of food, and it is Saturday, 1 to 3. And then the last thing that I have is we have our reporter Ian Wilson, who
Devastated.
has his last day, last night with us tonight in the town chambers. And do you want to come to the microphone and tell us a little bit about your new job and your move, and we'll tell you how much we're going to miss you.
Devastated. I'm mad at you.
It's funny, I've sat through so many meetings over 4 years and never have stepped up to say anything, but I guess I'm glad I invited you up because it has been a joy to cover the town, and, between Steve and the council and all the department heads, I have never gone wanting for information, and everyone has always gotten back to me so quickly, and when I mess up, you let me know, but when I do a good job, you definitely give me a pat on the back, and I appreciate that because it's been a fun town, but it's so well run sometimes I have trouble finding stories, but I guess that's the next person's problem now. So again, thank you to Steve and staff and the council and everyone else who's helped me. I will certainly miss covering South Kingstown, but I'm off to Concord, New Hampshire to figure out what's going on up there. So thank you for taking a minute to...
Well, Ian, I just want to remind you that when you come back to South Kingstown, our phone numbers are in your paper so that you can give us a call and maybe
Certainly.
we can get together. Yeah, you truly have done an outstanding job, and a lot of, well, not a lot, but some of the topics have been difficult to cover, and we appreciate your conscientious effort to really make sure that the truth gets out there to the public, and you've done a fine job. We're truly going to miss you.
Well, thank you. I mean, even in difficult times, I did try to, keep things straightforward and balanced and everything. So I appreciate you recognizing that. And if you see me around when I'm back, I'll still probably be poor, so feel free to buy me a beer. Thanks.
All right.
Oh,
Meg?
Ian. Ian, I have to say this. I'm the new kid on the block. This is only my first year in office, going to my first term. You graciously opened yourself up to myself and my family. For that, I will be forever grateful. You were very wonderful, and you have done a fantastic job. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Very nice. Okay. Any other comments from interested citizens with comments from town council members here? Seeing none, I'm going to move on to town manager's report.
Oh, no.
Still 2 more days, Steve.
Oh.
He's been so vocal tonight.
Thank you. Any questions for Steve? Seeing none, which brings us to appointments, and I really didn't see any, unless somebody wants to move forward. I know that we did some interviews, but we have another application here at the table, Eric Shearer, so it's probably wise to wait till we get all the interviews done.
Yeah, I'd like to wait to interview him.
Okay, so no appointments, and that is it for our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion to adjourn with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We are officially adjourned, and the time is 7:59.